The world had only been alive for a few generations, and already it was breaking. Not from earthquakes, not from disease, not from anything outside, from the people inside it, and God was watching. It had started so beautifully. A garden, a man and a woman, a world where every river ran clear and every animal had a name. The first humans walked with God in the cool of the day, but that song had cracked early. By the time of Noah, the descendants of Adam had multiplied across the earth. Cities rose and fell, tools became weapons. The soft language of the garden was forgotten, replaced by shouting in the streets and whispers behind closed doors. The Bible says it plainly. Every inclination of the human heart was only evil all the time. The Lord saw it. He saw the violence on every road. He saw cruelty being passed down from father to son, like an heirloom. And he grieved. The Bible uses a word here we often skip past. It says God's heart was deeply troubled. Not angry first, not vengeful first, heartbroken. But there was one man. In a generation of takers, there was one giver. In a world of liars, there was one whose word could be trusted. His name was Noah. He was 500 years old. He had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. He worked the land. He raised his family. He worshipped the God his great-grandfather Enoch had walked with. He was not perfect. He was not famous. He was simply faithful. And in a world drowning in noise, faithfulness was the loudest sound left. One day, in the quiet of his fields, Noah heard a voice he had never heard before. Noah. He turned. He looked. He listened. The end of all flesh has come before me. The earth is filled with violence. I am going to destroy them with the earth. Noah didn't move. Make yourself an ark of cypress wood, 300 cubits long, 50 wide, 30 tall, a door on one side, a window near the top, 3 decks inside. I am going to bring flood waters on the earth to destroy all life. But I will establish my covenant with you. You will enter the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives. And you will bring 2 of every kind of living creature into it, to keep them alive with you. The voice stopped. Noah stood in his field for a long time. Then he went home, and he started to build. He had never seen rain. That detail is easy to miss, but it changes everything. The ancient world before the flood was watered by mist that rose up from the ground. The sky was something you looked at, not something that fell on you. So when Noah told his neighbors what he was doing, they laughed. A boat in the middle of the desert for water from the sky. But Noah kept cutting cypress. For years, his 3 sons worked beside him. Shem hauled timber, Ham shaped beams, Japheth boiled tar over open fires until it turned thick and black. The ark grew the way a mountain grows, slowly, stubbornly. It rose above the trees, above the roofs of the village, taller than anything anyone had ever seen, built by human hands. And as it grew, the mockery grew with it. Children threw stones at the workers. Travelers came from neighboring towns just to point and laugh. Noah, look around, the sun is shining, the rivers are calm. Whatever God told you to do, this is playing a joke on you. Noah didn't argue. He just kept hammering. The neighbors called him insane. He was the only sane man left. When the ark was finished, Noah stood at the edge of his land and waited. He didn't have to wait long. They came at sunrise, from the forests in the east, from the plains in the south, from the high mountains in the north. Animals he had never seen before. Lions walked beside antelope, and neither hunted the other. Eagles glided in low and silent over the heads of the jackals. Elephants moved in slow procession, their massive feet barely making a sound on the dry ground. They came in pairs, male and female, 2 by 2. Noah stood in his doorway and watched them pass into the ark, one species at a time. The neighbors finally stopped laughing. Some of them came running from the village to watch, mouths open, children clutching their mothers' robes. Noah didn't say anything. He didn't have to. When the last creature had passed inside, the Lord spoke to Noah one more time. "Go into the ark, you and your whole household. For 7 days from now I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights." Noah turned to his family, his wife, his 3 sons and their wives, 6 people in total. The last family on earth that had chosen God when nobody else did. He took his wife's hand. "It is time." They walked up the ramp together. When the family was inside, the Bible says something extraordinary. The Lord shut him in. Not Noah, not his sons. The Lord himself closed the door of the ark. The salvation of Noah's family was not in their hands. It was in God's. For 7 days, nothing happened. The sky stayed blue. The crowd outside slowly drifted away. And then, on the 7th day, a single drop of water fell from a clear sky. It struck a stone outside the ark and made a small, dark circle. Then another fell. Then another. And then the world was opened. The Bible describes it in 2 ways at once. The fountains of the great deep burst forth, the waters under the earth tore up through the ground, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. The sky split apart from horizon to horizon and poured down. It rained the way water comes out of a tipped bucket. The streets of the village turned to rivers. Houses lifted off their foundations. Voices that had laughed at Noah a week earlier now screamed his name from rooftops. But the door of the ark was sealed by God himself. For 40 days and 40 nights, it did not stop. Inside, Noah's family worked through every storm. They fed the animals. They held each other in the darkness when the waves slammed the hull. They could hear the world ending outside. And then, slowly, they couldn't, because there was nothing left to hear. When the rain finally stopped, the ark floated on a world it did not recognize. No land, no mountains, no forests. Just water in every direction. The waters covered the highest mountains by more than 20 feet. For 150 days, the ark drifted. Slowly, the waters began to fall. The ark, which had been drifting freely, came to rest on a mountain, the mountains of Ararat. But Noah did not yet open the door. The Lord had shut it. The Lord would tell him when to open it. After many days, Noah opened the small window near the top of the ark. He held a raven in his hands. He whispered to it. Then he let it go. The raven flew out into the grey distance and did not return. Noah waited. Then he tried again, this time with a dove. The dove flew out. It was gone for hours. It returned at dusk, landing on Noah's outstretched hand, exhausted. There was still no place for its feet to rest. A week later, he tried again. The dove flew out into the morning light and was gone all day. When it returned in the evening, something was held delicately in its small beak. A single olive leaf, fresh, green, alive. Somewhere out there, the trees were waking up. A week after that, Noah released the dove one more time. It did not come back. It had found a home. When the Lord finally told Noah to open the door, the family stepped out into a world washed clean. The animals streamed out behind them, going in every direction, claiming a planet that had been given back to them. The first thing Noah did was build an altar. He gathered stones with his sons. He made a fire. He offered worship to the God who had saved them. And the Bible says the Lord said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans. Never again will I destroy all living creatures, as I have done. Then God spoke to Noah. This is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature. I have set my rainbow in the clouds. Whenever it appears, I will remember my covenant. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Noah looked up. There it was, a rainbow stretching across the sky, brighter than anything he had ever seen. Not a decoration, a promise written in light, drawn by the hand of God himself. The story of Noah is not really a story about a boat. It is a story about a man who chose faithfulness when faithfulness was the strangest thing in the world. Everyone around Noah told him he was wrong. Everyone around him laughed at him. Everyone around him pointed at the clear sky and said, "There is no rain coming." And Noah kept building. For decades. He didn't build because he understood. He built because God had spoken. And that was enough. And when the day came that the sky split open, the only people on earth who were saved were the ones who had been called crazy for the longest. Faith is rarely loud. It is rarely popular. It is rarely understood by the people watching from the outside. But faith builds. It builds quietly, patiently, day after day while the world laughs. And when the storm finally comes, and the storm always finally comes, the only ones standing are the ones who built. The rainbow is still there. Every time you see one, you are looking at a 4,000-year-old promise. God has not forgotten it, and he has not forgotten you. If this story spoke to you, hit the like button and subscribe to Bible Stories. Share this with someone who needs to remember that God still keeps his promises. We will see you in the next story.